Welcome. I'm Dee, and this is Single Mom Unguided Life, where I try to navigate through finances, motherhood, being single, and everything in between. And I bring you guys along for the journey to hold me accountable. So this is my income breakdown number 2, as well as my cashless envelope stuffing number 2. I'm going to go ahead and put the envelopes to the side. We're going to do this a little bit later. And as always, we bring out our monthly budget overview because it tells us the bills that need to be paid with the amounts as well as the dates that it needs to. So I'm going to sit that to the side so it can be in view. We are going to mark this as number 1. Oh no, maybe we should do number 2 since we've been talking about 2 the whole time. Today is the 12th, so we're going to put that in. And so let's go ahead and talk about what I expected to bring in. So what hit my bank account for my employer is $1,653.21. I would be pulling $70.13 from savings. There is a rollover of $290.11. And Papa sent his portion of his phone bill, which is $26.67. So let's add that together to see what we have to work with, because I love telling my money what to do before it tells me what to do. All right. So we have $2,040.12. I interrupt this budgeting broadcast to tell you to check on your friends with teenage sons. There must have was a full moon yesterday because Papa was on one. It first started with him needing the spoon out of the dishwasher. It must have was a special spoon because he was so upset when I told him that the dishes in the dishwasher was dirty because I had not started. He had to walk all the way over to the drawer with the silverware and get him another spoon out of it. Then he had questions about the fish and he wanted to know if there was bones in it. Then he was highly upset when he found out that I put the honey barbecue wings and the buffalo style wings in the same container. Boy, I just was taken aback yesterday because my 17-year-old son converted into a toddler for 30 minutes. So let's talk about the expenses. So the expenses that will be deducted from this income breakdown is my electric, and the electric is due on the 12th today, and it's $105. Storage is due on the 13th, and it's $7.46. The cable is actually due on the 14th, but as you know that they did pull the cable out on the 26th, but I still need to account for it in my budget because it needs to be pulled out of my checking account to go towards my main checking account to go towards my credit card checking account. The phone bill is due on the 15th, and it is $169.85. The water bill is due on the 17th, and it is $71. The insurance is due on the 19th, and it is $134. In my mid-month check-in, I mentioned that there was some issues going on with my insurance carrier. What happened is that my state DMV has sent a notification to my auto insurance carrier to let them know that that permit driver that's been on a policy for over a year or 2 is now a fully licensed driver. So go ahead and rack up her rates. And that's what they did. So my policy for my auto was at $600, and it rose up to $24 and some change. And I was like, OMG. Even when I was a new driver, it wasn't this much. So what's going on? So I ended up calling, and they gave me a story that Papa's an inexperienced driver. There's a fee for that. Papa had an accident. There's a fee for that. Papa is a male. There's a fee for that. It was just like, OMG. So what they ended up doing, they tried to, make adjustments to my policy. But where the policies that, or the items I had on my policies, I want them to stay. Those are my comfort. Those are what I found being insured for years, that these are the items that is most important to me when it comes to my auto insure, because I know in the past how I felt when I didn't have it. So with that being said, it was really nothing they were able to do other than they wanted me to pay more. So they wanted me to raise my deductible, and they wanted me to pay a high monthly. No, sir. No, ma'am. No mustard. No ketchup. Okay. So I end up going back, checking out quotes with Nationwide. I was with Nationwide before. And when I first moved to North Carolina, that was my auto insurance, everything provider, auto, renters. And I remember that the state used to pay a portion of my insurance, because even though I was an experienced driver when I moved to the state, I was still considered inexperienced because I had to transition my license from one state to another. So I looked as if I was new. So in turn, they were paying a portion. Well, that's not the case now. Nationwide actually quoted me about the same that USAA, that's my current auto insurance provider, was quoting me. So I went online. I had my little fit. I had my little hissy fit, because I'm like, oh my goodness, last month it was the people that I love. This month it was the people that I pay each month that want money out my pockets. So if first it was the internet, now it's my insurance. I'm like, who else wants some money? Who else I gotta fight? But I end up finding and transitioning to a new auto insurance provider, and they were much more my first encounter wasn't pleasant, because this person was so dead set on me coming like out of the quote so he can look at it thoroughly, and as he was saying, but I wasn't hearing that. I like to feel around myself, like click on things myself, read things myself. I don't like people just telling me things. That's me in everything. Like even when I watch YouTube videos and people provide content and they say something, I'm researching that. So what I say out my mouth is coming from facts. I am a matter of fact type of person. That's it. I peel back the layers for the facts, not opinions, the facts. So I end up finding an insurance carrier that understands that though Papa is inexperienced, the mama is experienced and does not have any points, have a good driving record, pays our bills, credit's good. So let us share in the responsibility to help them out. And that's what they basically did. And so the policy actually is like around $1,200, and I'll be paying like $243 a month. But I did discuss with Papa that I would be requiring a portion of that, because he does use the vehicle a great percent of the time to go to work, to go to school, for leisure. So this is me pushing him into the responsibility. With this auto insurance carrier, they do have an option when Papa goes away to college that I can put, like, I get a discount for him being so many miles away, versus USAA does not have any of those type of discounts in my state. And that was the thing about it. It's like, you really have to find out what insurance carrier caters to your state, and they just don't. And they don't offer as many discounts as Nationwide. And again, Nationwide just doesn't offer as many discounts as they used to. So that's why I transitioned to this one. And when I do my April budget with me, you'll see all of those changes. But I still do need to pay USAA. I'm not sure if this is to the 18th is when I'm actually transferring over, or if there's going to be adjustments, but I'm going to go ahead and pay the full amount that's due, and then we'll discuss it after. OnStar is due on the 18th, and it's $24.99. My car note is due on the 22nd, and it's $280.14. Credit card number 2 is due on the 27th, and it is $70.13. Given it's miscellaneous, and it's $160, as well as dental. I did not pay the dental or schedule the dental appointment for Papa last paycheck, and I discussed that in mid-month check-in, but I have done it for this upcoming one, so I definitely want to put money aside for that, and that's what we're going to do. The portion from the dental that I had moved from my checking account actually went towards a purchase I paid on my credit card. So next thing I do is highlight the items that will be taken out of my credit card and not my checking account. So that will be storage. Let me put a little asterisk here, because it's actually cable will be coming out of my checking, but it's because it was applied to my credit card. My phone bill, OnStar, and dental. Okay, so what I do is I will calculate all of the items that will be taken out of my checking account here. So okay, so that's $831.18. Now we're going to move over to our envelope system, and we're going to talk about what we'll be sending to our categories. For money, we're going to send 25, groceries 60, no, gas 60, groceries 160. I'm going to keep that the same, even though I have not been doing the best. I'm going to keep it the same because it should be leveling off. Household will be 20, personal will be 65, and restaurants will be 25. So let's go ahead and calculate that as well to see what we'll be working with. Okay, so then we have my sinking funds. I will be sending 100 to car maintenance, nothing to gift, nothing to health, 25 to miscellaneous, 100 to Papa, 15 to property, 100 to travel, and 24 a bill carryover. And that comes from making up the difference of the usage for my electricity. And as another new thing with that is my electric company is now going to be reviewing the customers who are not on what they're referring to as budget billing, and they will actually be adjusting the amount that you pay each quarter based on your usage. So at the end of the month, you will not be paying, or end of the year, you won't be paying more or having a large bill, which is okay, but I don't like that fact that it's unpredictable. I like the fact that I was able to monitor it. So we'll see how it go. If they start adjusting it where I'm paying over where I'm at right now, I'm gonna have to move off from that and come up with another plan. So let's go ahead and see how much we'll be putting towards our sinking funds, this income breakdown. I feel like oh no, I thought I skipped something. So that's 360. All right, so before we calculate everything, I know I won't be sending anything extra to debt nor savings. So let's go ahead and see what we'll be sending to each category, starting with our income of bringing in 20, 40, 12, 831.18. So that leaves us $1,208.94. Let's minus the 355, 853.94, and let's minus the 360. That's 493.94. And we're just going to put that there as well. Sorry, I had to turn it. And so this is the income breakdown. Now the checking buffer, this is not only the amount that will be left into my account as a buffer, but also the amount that needs to be transferred to the credit card checking account. And I usually do that off camera, breaking that down itself. So now let's go ahead and get into our cashless envelopes. Okay, so we need to go ahead and stuff our cashless envelopes by just updating our budget sheets to reflect what should be in each category. So starting with fund money, it was 0 that we were starting with. So today is the 12th, and we're going to do a deposit, and it's going to be $25. So that's going to place $25 in our fun money category. The next category we have is gas. Gas ended with $7.01. We're going to make our deposit of the $60, and that gives us $67.01. For groceries, it has a beginning balance of $57. As you can see, this is a new sheet because if you looked at my mid-month check-in, you'll see that it had a whole bunch of transactions, and that took up the last sheet. So I brought over the 57 cent, but what we need to do is, we know that that 57 cent actually went towards the zero out challenge. So that left at a balance of 0. And then today we made a deposit of $160. So that gives us $160 in our groceries budget. Let's go to household. And as we know, we sent that $13.67 to the zero out challenge. So we just need to reflect it here as well. We started with 0. And then today for household, we're going to do a deposit of $20, and that gives us a $20 balance. And that is for household. Then we'll go to personal. And with personal, we ended with $11.71. And then we did the zero out challenge, and that was $11.71. So that left us with 0. And then today, we're actually going to do a deposit for our personal of $65. So that's going to give us a $65 balance, and that's for personal. And then for restaurants, we sent that to our zero out challenge. So that was $4.56. So that left the 0. And then today we're going to deposit $25, and that's going to give us a $25 balance, and that is for restaurants. So that's how I break down my cashless envelopes and make sure that the budget sheets are updated. So when I do carry my wallet, I know exactly what's in each account prior to making those purchases. We are all set at this present time. We have broken down our income. We have stuffed our cashless envelopes, and I am so happy that there wasn't really any hiccups thus far. I know that I didn't have to make any adjustments after doing my mid-month check-in. Everything seems to be flowing the way that I pre-planned in the beginning of the month, so that is great. If you're new to my channel, I would love for you to be part of my village. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. To all my returning subscribers, thank you. Everyone hit that thumbs up, and please share this with your family, your friends, and your co-workers. Peace out.